Welcome back to Satisfactory. It is sometime later. I basically let the server run overnight as usual. And of course, everything I've automated has now filled boxes. We have plenty of stuff in our depot, including the motors, which are new. That's right, I got my jetpack on. Probably want to switch to the parachute for. So our final stages here were to construct motors and the modular frames for this part. Now, before I start unlocking things, the next step is to build my power plant. And let's turn that on here. So there's the plan. We've already been over this once before. I've been leaving my to-do list with the things I need for this guy, so that's still all set up. We're going to be building 13 refiners and a couple of water extractors, 16 fuel-powered generators, and so on. Whole lot of pipe. I have not planned this out. I don't think I can do much in the way of blueprinting, although I could probably, if I had a more complicated part of the build, for instance, if there was a refiner with packagers and unpackers below it. I remember building one of those in a blueprint. That comes in handy. We don't actually have that in this recipe. I'm headed the wrong direction. So, okay, when we get to the... So I wonder if I can go... Okay, I couldn't quite grab it because... Oh, that was a skill issue. We're going to head over to where the oil is this time. What was I saying? Completely lost my train of thought. Anyway, not going to be blueprinting oil yet. I believe these recipes are simple enough. Basically, we just get our crude oil coming in, turns into fuel and resin. We combine the resin with water to make rubber, and then we take the fuel and we route it over to power. Simple enough. And I've got 2 of those going. All the numbers are under 300 per minute for the fluids. If I tried to combine them, I would have to do fancy things or use 2 pipes or unlock the next level of pipes up. We're not ready to do that quite yet. Also, we're going to be using a couple of pure nodes. We can leave our existing plant where it is. I will tear that down later on because those little coal plants like that aren't going to be significant once we get the 4 gigawatts from the... So I've already placed out the miners so that I can see from the sky where they are. And that guy can't open that up yet. So he's pure. I've got an area out for him. I think it was this guy back here. We'll take a look at him before we start. Because if he's pure, I'm going to start with him. He's far away. And we have plenty of space around. I think I am going to take the idea of moving the oil to where we're going to be doing other things close to the... This is pure. Yay! Out to the west. Scott. You need to try I'm on the correct. Clipping a, oh, come on. Clipping a 1 meter sometimes isn't right. It's better now, but clipping the 4 meter gives me a little more confidence. We can actually get rid of the to-do list now. Because we know we have enough stuff, and I don't want to be bouncing around to build. And if you build something and then remove it, it doesn't put it back on the to-do list, so it becomes inaccurate very quickly. Extractor. You. Want you pointed. I'm going to put you on a bit of a. Well, let's make you. Oh, that's right. Pipes. The whole straight thing doesn't affect pipe. Have a straight ability. So we'll have to do this kind of manual. Yes. I'm going to set up a hot bar for piping. Oh, I have one. So I want to be on this line. Headed out somewhere. This is not giving me a snap. Okay, so what we'll do is I will put one there, over here. Set up a pipe. Wondering if this will snap. It'll give me a guide. Center. Get rid of the stuff. Now we can start pipes out that direction. And I think I'm going to make this a long run. There's a way I did things way back when, where you go under and then you have a blueprint for bringing the pipes up and running them across the surface a little bit and going back down. So you get kind of a stitched view, and you do that at max pipe distances. I think it will go down here, because this ends up being another sandwich layer. We go vertical, 1 meter. There. 4 down. It's a 2 in the middle. I want my pipes to be in that kind of a sandwich layer. Question is, does that work? I may have to blueprint the go up and go down. Let's blueprint the stuff. See if I can remember how I did this. Basically, we want a floor, which we are going to raise. So put in this guy in maximum length here. Be trimming him later. Have him curve upwards. That's the level he's on. In. Salt. Oh, and I wanted it centered in a area. This is going to be a 1x4, and it needs to be turned. I want it to be, when the arrow was pointing towards me, I want it to be going that way. It's going to be come up, go across, come down, and I still want to be able to turn here, which is going to be the other way, but we'll start it off. Here's the upper level. The idea is that this level will be above water somewhere, but water level will be somewhere inside this. And we'll want to come up and over and down. Let's make the stitch nice and short. Problem is, laying these out, I still need to connect from one to the next. Want it long enough that I get a meter. Part of the point of this is to have the meter show me in my long pipes where things are going. So if we're going from here to here, let's do the vertical. I remembered correctly, so that is far enough to get a meter. And it is the wrong. But you see where I'm going for. Here, I'm going to cut all the way out to the end of the... And what I'm seeing is that this is the wrong height. I need to go one higher. That's one reason why I know that I need always do things like this. Try this. Okay, so we have to reach a compromise, and the easy way is to do... Come on. Why isn't that directly horizontal? That should be perfectly flat, but I don't understand. Okay, let's do under, back off by 2. So we are manually handling the shape. Collars. So if you go into this leading things, hit G, it will only dismantle things like that. So now I can hold down control and wave my wand and only mark these guys. Now visually, we have some nice unimpeded pipes. I'm going to make those that. because our meters show us where we're getting volume. Really just don't like the fact that it's going to be so high. I'm going to try one more time. See if I can get a thin sandwich layer. Curse you, Sculty, you've infected me with sandwich layers. Is it possible to make that curve? There is noodles. In the interest of having a thin sandwich layer, I will accept that we are going to bobble a little bit as we curve. So when we string these together, I will need a blueprint that I can reach down inside. We'll do another blueprint that is a kind of a trough. And we'll layer the top over the top once we're done. I think this top. Fix it foundation. Have to be horizontal to vertical. Notice that Noodle curved the whole thing. It doesn't put the meter in curved section. Now, to make this a nice self-contained unit that can be half in the water and half out if we want. There. The thing is, put one of these in, two more of this size, but with top open and without this bit. Save that. 5-4 single. I'm going to pipeline mark 1 at now let's put down another designer. To him, I can clip them together. Oh. So we're going to do similar. This will be a blueprint, again, 4 long, same size as this, without the top stuff, just one pipe going through the middle. Oh, wait a minute. Out the pipe going through the middle, because I want to lay a pipe from one of these to the next one. 8 is a distance we can, I think it's 10 is the maximum. Anyway. A blueprint. Sure. Single. Now, I could. It's too bad that stacking these end to end doesn't connect the cables. I want to put something in the. I don't even want anything in the middle. It's going to be laying the pipe through here and then putting the top back. And all I really need to be able to do is to see guys at the end, so I can actually put that in. Make it easier to pick these up and patch them. So I lay down one of those, 2 of these, 1 of those, and then I connect the pipe through to the top. If I take these out, I can patch the entire top with 1 zoop. There we go. This is, I'm going to use a slightly different icon for this. Use the clean pipeline. So for building we're going to be doing, start off with I could start right off with it. I also need to put some pipe stuff down. Sticks, pipelines. I will be running clean pipelines, junctions. Take that down like that. I'm not even going to put a hole in there. Yeah, let's put our trough down to begin. That way. I think I need to pour trough. Bring it up here somewhere. There we go. Our top would go in here. Loop that in for now. But I can get that. So he needs to come down through, and I don't think there's a hole I can put there, but I'm going to try. And actually, if he's not straight out, that's pipeline hole. I think this is the only one I'm going to commit. Good enough. not sure I'm going to be able to touch. I may not be able to do this. I may not be able to go using the trough until we get. So we have to go back out here. Why aren't you? Should be. Guess I'm going to have to place them the hard way. Guess we keep going until I see the bottom. And should be able to start here and stitch right. So we will need to be up above water level. Back to it. What I really want is the last half of a stitch. I think we can do. Interesting. Sometimes I get in this mode where I can pick an entire blueprint with the mouse button. I think you have to be building blueprint in blueprint mode for that. It's stuck in that mode now. And using bring it over the top instead of let's go. This back and clip it in. I wanted to just do this, but it doesn't do the right. Will. Close enough. All the fiddling around I did earlier to get the perfect spot. Meters on these. Come out, a meter. Go further on, we've got another meter, just so we can watch things down. And that guy goes. So now we start our pattern. This works. Pipe is too long, so 2 of these guys is too long. I guess we alternate them. Yeah, that'll work. This actually looks pretty cool when you get multiples side by side if you're running 3 pipes. But for this build, I'm just going to do it real simple. I'm going to head out that way till we have clear water, where I'm going to put down my water supply and gather. I could gather up the other oil and kind of do these side by side. Let's see. Look at the checklist up there. Rubber side needs 4 refineries and plastic side needs 4 refineries. And rubber side needs 3 and plastic side needs 2. Build those side by side. Nah, let's just do it the easy way. Not sure why I'm taking this all the way out other than because I can. So, building the next blueprint, I ought to be able to just stack it on the... Now, if I've done this right, my lower level is either the right level for water, or it's 1 level below. 1 level below that, that's good, because that means that our lower oil and water supply are on that same level. Let's get rid of... something that could... I think this is a big hatcher that releases the 6 of the firefly. With everything on passive, I can just ignore them pretty much. But they're kind of... explosives. I didn't bring any explosives. So there's a power slug gun. I didn't bring any explosives. Why did I have this in my hand if I have no explosives with it? I could have put something else in a hand. I could have something else. It's full. Oh, I didn't look. What's my level here? We are just splashing, which means I think that the water pumps need to be 1 meter lower than, I think. I can actually here. I think this is where we're going to go do some stuff out here. We're clear of everything, right? Right. Okay. Let's see if this is... I think this is too high, but let's verify. Because if we could put it in at that level, that does make it a little... There's our level. So that's the level that we put our water on. Place it, and if we just bring this in, notice it's going up a little. So I wonder if I can put my water, this guy, 1 level down. I wonder if it'll still sit. It does. Put it on. That is flipping to the grid. Actually, put this on here. Okay, so he will attach to the floor either level, and he will always be a little bit high. Okay. What I'm gonna do is want to leave these down there. So I don't actually know where my water is going to go. These guys need to go in a refiner, so it does not go back down here. In fact, thing only using half of the... Give myself a little bit of an underlight here, just so it's easy for me to find the level later. So we are going to be doing, pick one. Let's start off with rubber. We have done one oil extractor pumping oil. Let's make sure that it's 200. See, now if I'd had the pipe all along, it would be a little more awkward. That opened like very nice. But I can't bury the pipe here. This guy will be capable of 200. Run the power out. So I'm going to foundation meter ramp. That meter. I'm going to clip a all these side bits really ought to have walls on them. I'll show you what that looks like. Basic wall one. So why? If they're all concrete, that's the, if they're all asphalt, can't customize a wall to be asphalt. Steel wall would look like this, kind of junky. So we will use concrete for ours. There are some places where we have ramps where the sides look kind of off, and I will button those up in the future. Anyway, back to our checklist. We indeed have an oil extractor pumping oil. How about buffer on? Gives us an excuse to have it over. Sticks. It's organization. We do have the big buffers available. And I will use those at some point. It's not here. We want a pipeline mark one. Here. So we now have a meter of the stuff coming out of the buffer and a meter of the stuff going in. That makes good sense. It says something about bringing out power. You now have power, and you're going to start filling up our buffer tank. I like having my earlier stages fill up their buffers before I activate the next stage. This will start filling. And of course, he's not going to be filling too quickly because we still have a whole bunch of pipe out there. The fill rate 238, drain rate 183. That will continue to drain until all of this pipe I just laid out. So where's the edge of the world? I think the world edge is here. but we have plenty of space. So from here, I am going to go to 4-meter foundations to kind of cap off of this pipe drop. And we are going to start with our refineries out here. We'll get power. I can just have things starting to work as they come online. What I'd like to do is have the power line up with the stitches. That would be. Probably should have put the power lines. Blueprint. Sure what that was about. Yeah, it's probably easier for me to hologram it a meter. Put it in place. Speaking of power, we haven't looked at that in a while. Our consumption is all the way up to 3.2 gigawatts. So we're going to build a 4 gigawatt power plant out here. It's like just barely big enough. Now, if we sever from our old base, the old base has enough power to run itself, and that'll get rid of its load from us. So I may do that. Go. Now the power out to here. I want to run my first refinery out that direction. Bigger refinery is probably cool. Refinery on production. Refinery, I'm going to put that on 6. So the thing that I was doing before, where I was lining these up so that this is on the halfway point, this is on this point, I think that works pretty good. It gives us a little bit of space around them. But on the other hand, like there's something nice about just placing them where they go. And these are making, 4 refineries making fuel. Fuel. 2, C, Control V, Control V. So all you guys are making fuel and polymer resin. And your input is just center here. We just need to travel down this way. Keeping this centered, the upward leap. And I think I'm going to put metered pipes on this. in case something goes wrong, I'll be able to see where we're getting stuff. I could put two on each side, but it's not symmetric. We'd have 3 refineries making residual rubber somewhere. I'll put all these on one side. Yeah. So supposedly this should be up. So we go back along our stitches until we find the one with oil in it, or the one that has oil in it. Oh, I wasn't looking here. I was just looking at the flow rate. The flow rate, of course, is going to be 0. So you have 0 in your pipe. Okay. So this is somewhere in here. .4 cubic. 0 in this. 0 in that. But there's something wrong. That freaking floor hole. Leave it. That's my basic fundamental get it working kind of a thing. It's just pipeline mark 1 here. Coming up. Too tight. I can't. He's filled. Okay. I may have to just fiddle around with each and every intersection. That's going to be... Oh, because he's working. So it's just that first one that somehow got messed up. There, he was kind of the first to put in. I did fiddle around with him for stuff coming. He's pumping. He's empty. Okay, so sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. You're full. You're going. Oh, I bet you it has to fill the lower pipe on each one of these completely before it goes up to the top. So you are flowing 300 cubic meters per minute. Full. So I think that it wasn't a matter of fiddling around with that until it worked. It was just waiting. Now we can see that this is all set up. These guys need, I think they're, oh, it's on. Center it. So we slot. So these guys now have power. And they're not going to actually do anything useful until I have relieved them of their inputs. Switch back to 1 to route these guys. I'm going to take all the resin and merge it together. So let's see. The output of the fuel, we have fuel which is going to be heading to our power plant. And then the resin goes to making residual rubber with water. So these top guys need to be routed out this direction, where we're going to have 3 more refineries here pointing the other way. These will require water and our input. Do that. This is going to be all manifold. Okay, first 4 have outputs which are going to come out this direction, and we're going to go to a power plant somewhere, possibly over there. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to line up my 8 power. I could bring the power, the fuel back here, and have a 2-stitch. Fuel comes back, which will put my power plant back on. That kind of makes sense. So we're going to revise our blueprints here. This means I'm going to rerun all my oil. So instead of you, I'm going to be putting 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. And I will be placing a power line here. So we can connect these up. You know what? I think I'm going to do the blueprint 3 wide. In case we want to bring back water. That. We'll tap the water onto this, so we'll have oil, water. Need to bring these back. I think I'm going to actually need to put down my endpoints explicitly. I'm going to try to clip. It's going to try to. So, logistics, port. pipeline. Pretty sure. So all these pipes being blue, kind of boring. Let's make the middle one black for our customizer. We want a pipe for water and a pipe for fuel and a pipe for oil. We have all these swatches. Can I rename them? I can't rename them. This is going to be my water pipe. It's going to be matte. Save this set as water pipe is going to be on the right. Rid of our supports. Nope. Oil. Custom swatch is currently all black. Let's not assume that it's going to be zero at, say, well, I handcrafted a bunch more solid biofuel. Don't have to do much about it. And over on the right, we have fuel. What color should I use for fuel? He's kind of a bright orange, huh? Is there interesting? Over half of swatch 6 looks about. Copy its color. It's got now, because I'm using a swatch for these, it means if I change the color on the swatch, all of the things I have colored with that swatch changed color. We have water, oil, and these guys. Now, whether I color the pipes that are underground or not is relatively unimportant. So if I do a dismantle of the blueprint, it does that whole section. Bean's good with them. And stack the blue. Pointing towards us. This is now important. What I forgot to do. I forgot to save. Our trough doesn't change. Grab him. Does down there. Oh, it's connecting up. Yeah. It's connecting automatically. And yeah. Hey. What we do now is color the sky. Crude oil mechanisms are all colored. Yeah, I didn't realize that that would automatically stitch down and connect up to the end of the pipe, but it definitely started making this go. I think I need a place to stand. Not seeing my... That worked. Oh, right, because this top part wasn't part of it. So we have to pick up the 4 for the top and pick up the pipeline. In, off. That guy. So it's not really important to put in colors in the first time I need colors, I will be. As these colors are, I'm good. Actually, yeah, if I kill this trough off first, killing the blueprint first, that does make it a little easier to see what I'm... So I've been spending an hour running pipes. That's okay. Getting the pipes right means we'll be able to organize the rest of the factory properly and not have to worry about pipes being spaghetti all over the... I'm not building a spaghetti factory today. Yeah, it's too bad that adjacent blueprints don't stitch their pipes and wires together. I may have a problem here. Yeah, the blueprint had a pole and the pole existed before. I need to hook up the wire. Saw the wire was already there. It's like, ooh. And if I have two wires, two poles that are overlapping, and a wire connects to one of them and a different wire connects to the other one, it's gonna work. Go. It's set there. Clean. That is the wrong way around. Yeah, that's the wrong blueprint. Now with this guy, I had it coming up. I think what I'm going to do is instead of having the stitches, bring this forward. These guys can clip onto the end, but first I need to get the ends right. The way to get the ends right is to put some space here. I guess I can. The question is, do I want to auto clip this in, or do I want that? Obviously, these two have to. This one to go. In fact, my blueprint here is to go. There. And there's. It probably got filled as backfill for. Also likely that these have been building up their outputs. Yeah, we have filled up our outputs. So, oil refineries here. They're creating fuel. Other stuff is here. I could do a proper merge. And let's do it because we can. Splitter coming from the left. Guys are going to be merged in pairs. This guy comes straight out. Right. Merger. Got another merger in the middle there somehow. That looks like bettered. I'm not doing any math, I'm just using the Mark IV belts. And straight mode saves me a lot of pain there, so now we are evenly merging from these four. This belt, evenly splitting from this belt. So, they are making usage rubber. Should have supplies of resin sitting there. There we go. But the resin is available to come in. Need water. Output is rubber, so these three need to be merged together and sent back or sequestered away here somewhere. It's not going to be a whole lot of rubber, but I can do a box and we'll put an uploader on. Need a smart splitter. It's up high again. My idea is we do all of our solid work here at this level. We're going to be using a smart splitter so we can fill industrial storage. And I could put an uploader on top of that if I and like the overflow needs to go. Some sink. Edge done. See, let's start off. So our start splitter needs to be on the same line. To be turned so we can come in from there. Nope. It goes to the right. We won't put an uploader on him, but I will move my uploader from the other factory to here when we take it down. I don't want to spend extra Mercer spheres. The power right down to the middle. You have to come out here. Power on you. These guys now have power, and they're waiting on getting some water in. So the water is going to be on this line. I don't know what we're going to use it for at the other end. It will be available. It'll be on the bus. From here, we almost want to continue our stitching on that. I'm not going to. I'm going to come out. Sky. This line. Actually set you. You'll have at least that guy to let us know what's going on. Again, this is for debugging. In case some of the machines stop, we'll be able to water and say, where are we getting water? So total water here, 40 cubic meters, 4 cubic meters, 40 per minute by 3, 20. So basically, one water pump we're going to be using. That's perfectly correct. So all this space out here, we just need one. And I may have to raise or lower it, so I'll let it sit out there. I like that it comes in that mess. Put it down. I'm gonna move it down here. Want to line up right on, but it's not. That is your center line. I believe these have enough head lift. Power trick. Have a power line. Connect it to the pole. Put it down. So the one weakness on this water now is that we have no buffer. I can put buffer in. In fact, I may have my buffer down at the other end there. It just needs to be something to have a little bit of a higher water level, so that as these guys consume chunks of water, it pulls it out of the buffer, and this guy produces it, puts it into the buffer, and the pipes should stay full. Really want the pipes to stay full. And I realized that I just hooked these up to the wrong side. This is the output side. I need to take this pipe here all the way around to the back. This is fine. This does mean that I could put my water in the back too. I may do that. I will think about it. I have 3 guys that need water. Fine. Question is, can I relocate my water out here? Where is my water level? Yeah, let's put all the water stuff on this side, and I will have the water do something to get into here. Now, if I thought this out, I would have set up my 3 pipelines as oil on the side, and then fuel, and then water. So, I mean, the fuel is water is also. Going to have to be very careful about coloring stuff. Few. Get them hooked. You're water. These guys are same center line. Dangerous. Should be. You could. So one fuel, two fuel, three. Ah, there. Water. You are water. Fuel. Kind of surprised I don't pull this. Oh. Boom. There we go. Cheese start making fuel. Machine's going to want some water. Here. The other thing I could do would be to put water in here and have a, yeah, let's do this. I'm going to put the tank So water comes in, goes to the tank first. The tank will provide a steady flow, which goes out here, machines, and then we send it back to the mainland because I have no. Now that's really because these two, one of these is going to be sitting at 240. I'm going to unify my two little factories here, so their water supply will end up getting. There you go. Just put my water pump out here. A little bit. Give you nice working space. Up to here. And you need power. Power out somewhere. That's full. So he's got power. Starting to fill up this fluid buffer. So these pipes can do 300 meters per minute, which is overkill. This guy. See supply. He supplies 120 per minute. I believe we are requiring 120 per minute. Means we have a situation here where we are exactly balanced. I don't like it when my fluid stuff is exactly balanced because small errors will cause it to be. What happens if we are short water? Well, that would mean we would be doing less of this. So we would be turning out lower amounts of rubber. That's okay. Would be consuming less resin, which would be this guy going slower, which would mean our fuel. But if this guy doesn't produce enough water, the fuel goes down. So we need to be ready for our fuel to be a little short. But we come out here, we've got fuel, we've got water. I'm thinking we're going to do a big industrial tank of fuel on the mainland. Or, yeah, we're on the input to our power plant. Now, these guys turn out 40 per minute. Got 4 of them, so this is 160. And we can check the checklist now. We have 4 refineries building fuel. I've confirmed they do 160 fuel. Let's check that the math is right on the input. 60 per minute each by 4 is 120, so that's correct. All of our resin, 30 by 4 is 120, so that check that off. Refineries making double check this. Rubber. We are consuming 120 polymer resin. That's correct. We are consuming 120 minute water. That is correct. And we are producing 20 by 3 at 60 per minute rubber. our water extractor is producing 120 per minute exactly. Now, if I were worried about it, I would simply add a second water extractor. Actually, not worried about it. And we have 8 fuel generators we want to make. Now, I just uncovered a really, really nice layout for a fuel generator. Well, actually, one of my friends found it and put me onto it. Fluxo does a really great one. It's about a year ago. But the build works. There were a couple of small changes. For example, he has some bits that he puts on for decoration, stick out the bottom a little bit. What do you call it? See if I can find these double beam connectors. He puts a painted beam up from the floor by 2 meters, and he puts a double beam connector over it. And currently, that's claiming it's clipping through the bottom. I was able to replace it with some beams, which apparently can clip through the bottom. So go figure, right? Anyway, really, really nice layout. Lots of little fiddly bits and good-looking stuff. But it requires a lot of quartz, which I haven't done yet. So when I do quartz, I will be replacing my power plant, something a lot more awesome looking. And all that is just to say that this is kind of a temporary. But what I want to do now is clear the blueprint designers, pick them up. Supposed to have a box there. Blueprint design. Oh. He's down. We just need to lay out 8 fuel generators. Now, the fuel generators take up a 3x3 area. So let's see. Let's just lay out a bunch of area here. 3x3, and we're 8, so we're going to go 4, 2 rows of 4, taking your inputs from the middle. 12. Let's put it the other way. I'm going to bring the fuel in here and turn the corner. So I want to lay out my generator that way. Space here for my industrial fluid. Actually, hold on. Industrial fluid doesn't have to be in line. I can bring it past the industrial. So we can make a come up, make a turn here. True. And then have a we have fuel coming in. Here. think I'm going to use an intersection here. It's out. That. My intention is to take this across it that way, feed them into the generator. Generators need to be starting on this tile. Let's mark that with a bit of a hole. Generators are that way. Put them starting. Come on. That. What I want to do is bring it in so that it's not. There's the corner of our first gen. I think that's enough space. That doesn't mean I want to move the junction. Here itch. Head out from here and make the turn. Out where they are. So the big generators that Fluxo built are on a 4x4. They're going to be larger, and I will mount them higher. And are we starting to accumulate fuel? Fuel rate going up and down. Yep. 8 generators. I think the first one's centered about there. So do I want it snugged up the edge or centered? I think centered center line. Up front to right here. I could design something inspired by Fluxos, but I really like using the signs to get a nice lighting effect. I can't do that yet, not until I have some quartz under. So we're gonna wait. Do I want walking space? Get rid of these. Cheat. I think I can walk around the back until I get a really good. Drag this right out. like these don't take exactly 3. They take 1, 2.5. So centering in the 3x3 area is something you would do on a blueprint. Bring it to me again. Half here, pipe down there. Here's our back. Exactly. Got it. So these guys are the reason why I was automated. Motors require 15 motors each. Total of 16 of them. We don't have priority power switch. No fuel. No fuel. Pipeline junction. That's fine. Make the turn here. I think I'm going to just make it a turn instead of putting a junction in. Now, it could be that what we'll do is we will junction in fuel from the build somewhere, at which point we will figure out whether we want to go this if we have this way, or we'll just extend it out. But that would mean, oh, if this is 160, that would mean 320. So we couldn't put all 16 of these on one pipe. So we really don't want to be mixing our 2 power plants. Cut on the fuel. We've got quite a bit of fuel sitting there. We should be able to get guys turned on. I have those 2 turned on, but I'm going to turn the rest of these to standby until we get their tanks filled. But we're not hooked up to main power. That's fine. It'll connect it to main power. Standby. All ready to shape. I think these probably fill their manifold very quickly. Still fill. So I'm going to hook this up to main power now. Although we should get an immediate bump in our main power. So this looks like before this. Cross connect it here. So that's the bump from two machines being turned. No, these are There's one other thing I wanted to do. I want to be able to get packaged fuel. And this is going to cut into my instruction a bit. Doing this explicitly. Let's turn these on. By explicitly, what I mean is I will be crafting by hand the tanks, put them in. And when I need packaged fuel, I will come put some things in and gather my packaged fuel in. Packager needs to take input from the fuel. And it's tempting to have the fuel packager send it directly to the depot. That way I can always drag more out of there if I need it. And the packager will basically draw this down. That means is that our generators are going to run dry. So what we want to do is when we need to make more, we have to turn these guys off so that we have excess fuel. So the idea is we want to see current amount in storage generally trending up. Fuel packager needs to drag off the fuel line. Needs to have a supply of canisters It needs to provide out. Yeah, I think I am going to end up putting a depot on this. So let's just kind of set it up visually somewhere. Unplanned, completely unplanned. Fuel line comes in here. I'm gonna put a T here. And seam here. Packaging. So his fluid input is actually high. Well, just vacuum. What's the point of horizontal to vertical if it doesn't do horizontal and then vertical? Input canisters. Builder. Going to be normal storage. I want to kind of center you. Center. What is so we there. And the depot will go up top eventually. I have the parts for it right now. Yeah, I'm missing a Mercer. I'll need to go grab some Mercer spheres stuff. So, do what? Canisters. Make a few and get this going. Our main use for this is going to be fuel for our jetpack and our truck, which is why I believe that our quantities are going to be fairly low. Do that. So the jetpack is still dragging from the biofuel. If I put down the biofuel, good. He's going to need a lot more. So yeah, do I want to have this automatically canisters potentially? Hey, when I use up a canister, end up with an canister. Let's use one up. Oh, wait a minute. I think it probably just decreases the count. Yeah, okay, so we don't end up getting any canisters back when we... So this first guy is making rubbers. We don't have a good supply of plastic on hand. This for fact. But we do have one there. I'm gonna do here, this guy. Going to fix this. This input needs to come from machine making canisters. So how about here? This needs a supply of plastic. Give him something to begin with. His plastic will have to come there. And this output is going to just make a corner. Now, I'm only going to use a normal storage container. I don't think we need a whole industrial heap full of fuel canisters, frankly. No doubt there will be some need for packaged fuel later that we might have yet. But we need to bring plastic over. Welcome, Spaghetti Leg. Here is plastic. We have input coming out into there, and this guy can not worry about rates at all. Mark 4 belts so that when they're built, they get here. You now have all the plastic you need. You will continue making those until this is up, and I will put a quantum storage on top of you later on so that I can always go get stacks of packaged fuel from the depot. Yay! That's half of what I wanted to get done today, and we're already 2.25 hours. So why don't I just keep going? Oh, that's it. I think I'm going to call it here. I will do this again for the other node. Difference is it will be making plastic. I'll do that off camera because it's really just exactly the same build. Recipes changed and with I think a different number of things. I may stylistically do some things differently. We'll cover that when we come back. But we'll see you then. I need to go. Bye.